This is not going to be like a Stephen Bartlett productivity 5 a.m. morning routine. I've thought about going back to the kind of career I was in, starting a completely new career. Good morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's currently 8:30 and I am fresh out of bed, and the reason for that is because I want to bring you guys along with this very bookish morning routine that I've been doing since coming home. I'm spending a lot of time in my own little head thinking about what comes next, and so I feel like more than anything I'm just trying to keep my mind in a good place, and a lot of that starts with my morning routine. For anyone who's new here, I'm Jen and I just lived in France for 9 months and I've just came home to Glasgow. It's obviously just such a transition. If anyone has ever moved abroad before and then came back to like their childhood home, or even just moving out and then coming back to your childhood home, it is such an adjustment. You're so used to having your own independence, and I think especially being abroad as well, for me that was like, oh my god, I'm living the dream. Now I've came back and I'm like, okay, I've done the dream. What's the dream now? But honestly, I told you guys in my last vlog, I'm enjoying being home so much more than I thought. I think it's just like the comfort and the home comforts that you miss so much. And honestly, I think a big part of me enjoying it so much is this morning routine that I'm going to show you guys today. As a book girly, getting all cozy and reading, I have missed this so much. Of course, I did lots of that in France, but it's not the same as in your bedroom. I love this little bedroom so much. It's the coziest place on earth, so it is actually top tier. I'm gonna bring you guys along with me for that this morning. The thing you're gonna notice, and the key part of this morning routine that makes it so good, is not just the reading, but specifically the fact that I am doing all of this before I pick up my phone. This has been like the biggest thing for me in terms of just how I'm spending my days here, the way I feel. And honestly, I'm pretty sure this is a fact, like this does happen to your brain throughout the day. See, if you pick up your phone first thing in the morning, that's pretty much your day set up. Like, you are going to be constantly checking your phone throughout the day, and that absolutely happens to me. I usually am okay about not picking up my phone before I've even gotten out of bed. Like, I'll usually get up, brush my teeth and stuff, try to give it at least 20 minutes, half an hour, even an hour before picking up my phone. But obviously there's plenty of days where I'm just not feeling it and I pick up my phone. Honestly, I feel like my day is just down the drain, which sounds really extreme, but I actually notice a change in the way my brain's working throughout the rest of the day. I'm so much more distracted. I'm so much more like just itching for my phone, and I just don't have as much motivation for the day. So obviously now that I'm in an era of not working, trying to figure out what comes next and just settle into life at home, and also conscious of the fact that I don't want to be missing friends and, you know, like feeling down about things, I told myself, I was like, you cannot be picking up your phone first thing in the morning. Like, you need to have a good morning routine where you set yourself up for the day without picking up your phone. But disclaimer, this is not going to be like a Stephen Bartlett productivity 5 a.m. morning routine. This is still a very extremely chill and honestly super enjoyable morning routine, but the key thing is that I'm not on my phone and it just sets me up for a good day. So I thought I would bring you guys along with me for it. So first things first is we need to get some breakfast. Sometimes I do this after I've read if I'm not like hungry immediately when I wake up, but I do kind of like doing it because I like sitting and reading with my breakfast and also with like a wee cup of tea. So we're gonna go down and make that the now. Okay guys, back in bed with the goods. Let me tell you guys what I'm having for breakfast. So I've got a wee cup of tea, of course. I actually always have my cup of tea with honey now. I never used to do that. That's always Cian who's done that. And then when we were living together, it was easier just to buy like honey or sugar rather than buying both. And I've kind of became a honey fan now. Like, I've totally converted. Even when I came home, I'm kind of a honey fan now. So that's what I'm having in my tea. For my breakfast, I'm doing my usual yogurt bowl. This is genuinely just like my favourite breakfast ever. And I never had it when I was away, so being back, I've literally had this every single morning. I've literally just got granola, strawberries, Greek yogurt, a little bit of peanut butter and some honey. It's probably not the healthiest thing you could eat. Like, I would say it's pretty healthy because I'm obviously getting some fruit and Greek yogurt and stuff. It's probably quite sugary because of the granola, but I don't care because I feel like it's a decently healthy option and it's actually so good. Like, I look forward to this every single morning. For the moment, I'm going to go and eat this and drink my cup of tea so my tea doesn't get cold, and I'm going to pick up my current read, which is Loved One. I will speak to you guys properly about the book and what it's about and what I'm thinking of it after, but I'm just going to start reading this and eat my breakfast now so that my tea doesn't go cold. Guys, I'm also just looking out the window and it is genuinely the first blue sky that I think I've seen since I've came here. It has been miserable since I came home, which I actually wasn't mad about because before, when I was in France, like the 2 weeks leading up to us leaving, it was almost 40 degrees every day and it was horrible. See, after the first couple of days of it, it was not fun anymore and it was just unbearable. Like, you couldn't sleep. You basically like just did not want to move or do anything because you just wanted to like try and keep yourself cool. And so I literally came home and I was like, do you know what? Like, bring back the cloudy skies and the rainy days because I can't like cope with this. I need a couple of weeks off of the sun. Now we're getting our first blue sky, so that is exciting. Hopefully this continues today. Okay, now that I've had my breakfast, my little cup of tea, I thought I would fill you guys in on what I am reading. So, as I mentioned, I am reading Loved One, which I've honestly wanted to read it for ages, purely just because of how gorgeous the cover is, but I heard the plot of it and I thought it sounded so interesting. So we are basically following Julia, who her ex-boyfriend, who she was kind of then friends with, has just died. I get the vibe that she was like one of the closest people in his life. However, she swears that even though they had like a little fling when they were younger, they then stayed really good friends and there was never anything more between them. She like swears that they were just friends. However, a month before he dies, they make a mistake and they sleep together. They kind of didn't talk about it. She was thinking, okay, we will work this out, we're friends, it's no big deal. Obviously then he dies, which makes things very complicated for her and just like to process. Because of the relationship they've had over the years, she's very close with his family. So his mum is like trying to track down all of his sort of belongings and stuff because he was in a band, so he travelled a lot. The one person that the mum has tried to contact but just like cannot get a hold of is Gabe's most recent ex-girlfriend. Julia met this ex-girlfriend at Gabe's funeral and they had a very bizarre interaction, and the ex-girlfriend kind of made a comment to her that Julia cannot stop thinking about. So Julia's like, oh, like if you can't get in contact with her, I'll track her down, like I'll go get his belongings from her. So the point I'm at in the story, Julia has literally flown to London to track this girl down. We're kind of getting like flashbacks between past and present, like we're learning all about Gabe and Julia's relationship throughout the years, and then obviously in present we're following Julia as she's trying to track down the ex-girlfriend. This is just such like a fun and interesting concept. I don't even know what to think. What I will say is I'm loving the writing style. I feel like it's so funny but also really just explains grief so well. I'm currently 78 pages into this and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not ready to put it down, which is why I'm going to move over to my armchair now. As you guys can see, this is absolutely not any sort of like super productive morning routine. And this is what we forget, like, and this is what I always feel. Obviously on Book Talk and BookTube, we love reading. Reading is like such a hobby. And like, I think sometimes we all forget that reading is actually so good for you. And like, I really don't think any time spent reading is time wasted. I think you are always learning something. I think it is so good for your brain, for your attention span, especially in comparison to just being on your phone or watching a TV show or something. I can't even feel bad. I know I'm like just lounging about in my jammies, but I'm reading. We honestly can't complain. So we're going to switch locations and we're going to keep reading some more. And what I'm also going to do whilst I'm moving over to my armchair is I'm going to make my bed, because we're being chill, but also like we're starting to get up. Like, am I going to sit on my armchair and read for another hour? Yes, but we're going to like start kind of getting the day started, getting the bed made. Like I said, I'm actually eating up the writing style of this book. It's so funny, and the way it's telling the story is so good. Like, especially because obviously it is funny. Like, this girl is just trying to track down like her exes, but also like friends, ex-girlfriend. So it does feel like quite light and just easy to read in that way. And then the author will say something so like honest about grief. Like Julia, the main character, she just had this interaction with someone where the person was like, oh, I totally understand what you're going through. I lost like my dad or my grandparent. And Julia was like, how old were they? And she was like 97. And obviously Julia was so like annoyed by that, 'cause in her head she's like, how can you compare your 97-year-old dad or grandparent to my 29-year-old friend? Like, it's not the same at all. Afterwards she speaks to someone who says, you know, like, a loss is a loss. It makes Julia then rethink how angry she was about it, because she's like, of course, like, a loss is a loss. That person just didn't know what to say in the moment and was just trying to find a way to relate to me. Like, it's so hard to sort of relate to someone in that situation, so she was just trying her best to say something kind and relatable. I just think like every single thought she had there was such like an honest depiction of grief. Like, you actually don't know how to feel, you don't know what's the appropriate way to act or feel or think. And then also from the other side, for someone who is talking to someone who's grieving, you also don't know what to say. Sometimes there's just not really a right thing to say. I'm really enjoying the story. It just feels like such a little interesting, fun story, but it's also so honest about grief, and it will make you be like, oh my god, this is what she's actually going through. Because I feel like the main character just like takes everything in her stride, or like is trying to take everything in her stride. And I feel like because she's kind of on this mission as well to track down Gabe's thing, kind of like a distraction for how she's actually feeling. I think I'm going to stop reading there for the morning. I made it to page 106, which I feel like we're getting through this pretty good because I only started this last night. But the reason I'm also locking in with this as well is because me and bestie Caitlin are doing a buddy read. You'll find that over on her TikTok, but we have both wanted to read this book for ages, and so we're doing a little buddy read together. And it's so funny because yesterday, I FaceTimed her yesterday, and she was saying like it's literally such a funny book, and then the author will just say something so profound and you're like, oh my god. I'm really enjoying it. This is definitely the type of writing I enjoy these days. I feel like my book taste has changed so much in the past year. I used to be very kind of plot driven, loved romance, kind of fantasy and romantasy. Now I am such, I wouldn't say this is lit fic. Sometimes I don't really know what classifies a lit fic. Just like contemporary fiction, and I just love this. I love character driven books. I love books that just like make you feel something overall, but still like combine it with humour and makes it an enjoyable read. Like, it's not like it's just really deep and you're just bored. These are the types of books I love these days, so I have really been enjoying reading this. So yeah, that is a good bit of reading that we've got done this morning. Contrary to me being like breakfast in bed this morning and just sitting reading. I actually do have a pretty busy to-do list today, so I'm starting to get ready for the morning. I've been trying to do this, like, even though obviously I'm not working at the moment, I am still keeping myself very busy, and I like actually getting ready in the morning, not just staying in my jammies all day, because otherwise I think that would make me feel like, what am I doing with my life? So I have a good few things to get done today. It's so funny because I have always said, like, obviously doing my YouTube, doing my TikTok and Instagram, it's such a great hobby for me. I love it, but like, even though it's a hobby, I put a lot of time into it because I enjoy it so much. Like, I really do like making the best videos possible, like coming up with new ideas and stuff. Like, I really do put so much time and effort into it. But I've always said I would never want social media to become my full-time job because like, I've always worked and I've always enjoyed working and enjoyed the structure. However, obviously over the past like week that I've been home, and I guess in France as well, when my teaching program ended, I feel like I've properly been like cosplaying being an influencer, because obviously that is what I've been spending pretty much all my time doing when I've not been seeing friends and stuff or going out, and it has been so fun. Like, I've actually really enjoyed it, and I've said to one of my friends yesterday, I was like, I'm like enjoying this a bit too much. Still don't think I would. Like, I actually really do enjoy working. This is like such a fun experience as well, though, getting to dedicate so much time and put in the time you actually want to dedicate to the YouTube and the TikTok and stuff. That's why even people have been like, oh, are you bored, like not having a job? Because I really was worried that I would be. I'm actually like, no, not at all, because I have been locked in. Like, I have literally been waking up and I felt as though like I've had a little work day to do, because I've like had a to-do list of everything I'm doing for the TikTok and YouTube. Like, that's just self-imposed. Like, I've just done that. I'm loving it. Like, I'm literally having a blast. I'm like really cosplaying being an influencer. So yeah, today I've actually got to film a little TikTok for an app that I love, and I've got lots of YouTube editing to do. I actually do have a little job call today. It was a company I applied to work for, and they just want to have a little Zoom call. They've said it's quite informal and it's just like talking to me, getting to know my experience and stuff, and then they'll tell me stuff about the job. So that is very exciting. This is the first job I've heard back from. It's Monday and I applied for like 5 or 6 different jobs on Friday, so I'm hoping that I'm going to hear back from a couple this week or in the next few weeks. Can't even lie, job hunting was actually making me quite excited. This is the first time in my life where I've not had like a plan, but like in a good way. Like, there's nothing I need to get done or complete, or like there's a next step I need to go on to. Like, my career so far has been very structured. Like, I came straight out of school, did a graduate apprenticeship, and then it was like, get to the end of your degree, get to this next level, and then after that I was like, okay, I want to move abroad, and then I did that. So this is the first time when I'm like, I feel as though I can really decide myself like where I go next. I've thought about going back to the kind of career I was in, starting a completely new career. I'm just keeping my options very open, and it makes it kind of exciting. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this call goes today, because this call specifically is with a company for a job that is completely different to my experience. You guys know I was like a finance girly. This job is completely different, so I'm excited to see what the vibes are like, if it's any different. It's just fun. So that is pretty much my bookish morning routine. I have got a little bit of makeup on to make myself feel cute, but nothing crazy. Cozy little outfit that's still like comfortable, but it's not jammy, so I feel like I'm getting up and getting ready for the day. Key part of all of this is like, it's 10:30 now and I have not checked my phone. That is like the best thing for me, and I know for a fact that for the rest of the day now I'll have a better relationship with my phone. My mind just feels so much clearer and less cluttered than when I wake up and automatically pick up my phone. This is something I've really been trying to implement, and I would highly encourage you guys to try and implement as well. Literally just waiting at least 30 minutes or even an hour after you wake up before you pick up your phone. It makes such a difference to the day, and honestly just your mood, your mental health, which is why I've been so strict about it. But yeah, I am ready to take on the day now. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling refreshed, and so we're going to have a productive day. Really hope you guys enjoyed watching this little bookish morning routine. Let me know if you want more kind of videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you next week for another video.